Hi, my name's Jame, and welcome to day 6 of my Build a Day challenge. Yesterday we built this barn over here with all the wheat around it, and I'm pretty happy with how this went, especially the interior. And today the prompt is a Mage's Tower. So my focus for today is going to get sort of using a variety of block types that I normally wouldn't use, rather than just using stuff that I'm familiar with. So this time unlike last time, I think the pallet's going to be quite useful, and so I'll quickly choose a palette. I'm going to use a tool that I found online that hopefully I remember to put in the description, which lets you generate block gradients when putting in either one block to another block or one color to another color. So I'm going to generate one sort of in a sort of gray to white, and I'll lay that out here so you guys can see it as well. So I'll catch you then. Okay, so here is the palette that I'm going to be using for this build. So I've got the gray to white gradient that I got from the generator. It's called Hue Blocks, if I forget to put it in the description. I tweaked it a little bit just because I wanted to try out some of these other textures, especially the tough to dead bubble coral. It works quite well, I would say, because they're both pretty busy textures. But up this end is stuff that it generated. And I'm also going to be using these sort of purple colors. So this is amethyst, and these are purple wool, concrete, and glazed terracotta. And I've got this quartz here just in case I need to do any outlining of more complicated blocks than tough and dead bubble coral will allow. So my plan as far as the shape is something that's going to be a little bit curvy, if that makes sense. I'm thinking some sort of spiral-ish sort of thing. You'll see when I start building it. So I'm just going to build a sort of a general outline of the shape as per usual, and then I'll catch back in once I've done that. Okay, just a quick update here of this is what I was meaning about the shape. So it's instead of just being straight up, I'm going to be winding it around and splitting it off into two towers, this being a secondary and this being the primary tower off in this direction. It's probably going to start out large, or like a fairly wide base, and then decrease in size up until the top bit here, which will probably be maybe a 5 block circle around, not too big. So yeah, I'll start working on that general structure now. Just wanted to check in. So I've put sort of some basic circles down, roughly following the shape of the red sandstone thing I did here. I also put one, or started up here just to see what the maximum size is going to be, and I was thinking sort of this shape would work fine, and then expand out a little bit when you reach the top here, because I'm still thinking it'd be nice if this is at least somewhat accessible without having to fly into it. If not, that's not the end of the world, but I would like it to at least somewhat be. And down here, I've just put down basic layers. I'll blend these together a little bit better after it's built, but to begin with, I'm just doing this, following the line, and then also over time, I'll be slimming down each of the circles. I started out with this 11 diameter internal, and up here I think it's down to a 9 diameter internal because I moved in one block. So it's getting a little smaller, and I'll continue on. I think I'm just going to start by following this path up to here, and then I'll treat this section as sort of a branch off the original tower. So I'll just continue working on that. Okay, update again. So I've put in the general shape of this, again just with standard circles. I haven't done any weird smoothing of them. It's just about as plain as you'd get on this main tower. It seems like I probably could have made this bit a little bit shorter, shifted it down and over a little bit, but hopefully with a bit of smoothing that won't look too strange. Because currently it does sort of look like a weird tentacle eye, but hopefully that can be fixed. So next I'm going to try and smooth out this shape, and then I'll catch you then. Okay, so I've well, the most obvious change is that I've added the second tower now, but I've also done a bit of work on blending the gradient together, and I think it makes it look quite a bit nicer, especially from a distance. I think it really works out a lot better, and I've done that all the way around the build, and it really helps with actually showing off that gradient, and I think it's quite smooth. So next I'm going to be working on the two roofs of the main tower and the secondary tower, which is what I'm going to be using mostly the amethyst for, but I'll see if I can incorporate some of these other purple blocks as well. So I'll catch you once I've done that. Okay, so I've pretty much finished what I would call the outside of this. I'm pretty happy with these two towers. Um, the roofs, uh, I used some amethyst, and on this one I used quartz stairs, and on this one I used quartz pillars because it's slightly larger, um, and just sort of made this cone shape to a point, which is a shroom light covered in crimson trapdoors on both sides. And I think it looked quite good. The entrance is basically it's an entrance. I couldn't really think of much else to do. In terms of the interior, I was looking at it and thinking, how in the world is this going to work? Because it's really, really tight, especially trying to get into the second tower. It's doable on foot, but only barely. And the actual entrance into this section is literally a 1x1 hole. If I break this, it's back out into the outer world. So there's not much I can do about it. This side's a little better, but it's still not the easiest climb. And through here, it's a fairly steep incline. So I fully do not know what I will do in terms of getting up there. But this bottom floor, I definitely have some sort of idea of how I'll deal with it. So I'll start working on that. Perhaps I'll put some brewing stands in here and I'll put a floor in and just see how that looks and see if I can figure out some way to get up there, even if it takes a command block. Okay, so I'm finally back. I know it took no time for you, but this last section took about half an hour for me because of what I decided would be the best way to get to these towers. So, from the outside, nothing's changed. From the inside, it doesn't look that impressive. It's just I put in this amethyst roof and this floor, which I actually am quite happy with this floor. Did a similar sort of glass aura thing through to there. There's technically shroom lights down there, but you can't see them. And I actually used purple. Crazy. And you're probably wondering what the pressure plate is and why there's no stairs. Well, I decided to use command blocks, which work quite well. So I can travel to the main tower, which I didn't really do much with, and the secondary tower as well. I know you can turn off the messages. I forgot to, so we're just going to be dealing with it. But I think that's about it for this build today. I know the video was probably a little shorter than usual, but this build took like 2 hours. So I'm done with it for now. So yeah, that's it for today's Build a Day challenge. Thank you very much.